Welcome to the Community Difference Plano. Powered by the Difference Media LLC. And hosted by Nathan Smith with Enfuego Financial. And sponsored by PBJ Mortgage, J. Galt, Jim Thomas, Business Consulting and Funding, Diane Castle with Castle to Castle, Tracy Duff with Assisted Living Locators, Assia Mahmood with Windhaven Academy, and by Lauren Gill with My Live, Love, Travel.
The Community Difference Plano was created to serve as a platform for local leaders and business professionals to showcase their expertise, values, and commitment to their community. Overall, the podcast aims to create a stronger sense of community in North Texas by highlighting the often overlooked or unnoticed good work being done by local leaders, businesses, and professionals.
So sit back and relax as our host, co-host, and their guests share inspirational stories, experiences, thoughts and insights about being a professional along with the opportunities for our businesses to serve our communities in very special ways. Because the Community Difference Plano starts now.
What's up, everybody? Welcome. Good morning. Welcome to the Community Difference Plano, a podcast firmly rooted at the intersection of business development and community involvement. I'm your host, Nathan Smith with the Enfuego Group, where we empower individuals to live life on fire and coach aspiring entrepreneurs how to step out of the corporate world, step into the space of entrepreneurialism, business development in the financial space. And we're just dedicated to inspiring and igniting ambition. We've got a fantastic show today, a great lineup of guests and co-hosts. We will conclude our May topic, which has been fantastic, turning social media into service media, simple strategies for expanding your social media presence. We'll do that in our third segment. Right after this, after we introduce our guest and co-host, we'll jump right into What's Up Plano, where we'll talk about all the things that you need to know that are happening in and around the great city of excellence, Plano, Texas. And so let's not wait any longer. Let's just jump right in this morning and bring on our first co-host. She's the owner of Windhaven Academy, a child care center for 0 to 5 years old, focused on nutrition, health, and safety, parent communication. Imagine that, right? For early education for the modern family. A fantastic endeavor. Amazing woman. Please welcome Assia Mahmood to the show.
Hi, Nathan. Thank you. Hello. Thanks for the wonderful introduction, as always.
Well, good. How's your day going so far with your new standing desk?
So far, so good. Got a little tangled up in my walking pad, but all good so far. Well, we made it through.
That's okay. Good. Well, I'm excited to have you here. Excited to speak to your guest. We'll introduce her in just a moment. Also to the show today, for the first time, a new co-host with our Plano show, a great devoted family man. He actually is not in Plano, but he does a lot of business here, and he loves the city, loves what we're doing here, and he may be taking a show out to his area, which is out in Sanger, here over the next year. So we'll stay on the edge of our seats for that. But a great guy, regional partner with J. Galt, guiding business owners in fortifying their corporate credit profiles. Very, very important in terms of protecting yourself from anything that can happen in the business world. Please welcome Tyler Clifton.
Hey, Nathan, man, it's such a pleasure to be here today, and thank you so much for the awesome introduction there.
I should have also said iconic mustache as well. I should have introduced you with that. That would have been good as well. You got always getting a compliment on the mustache. I think it's a very good look. I don't know if I could pull that off, but anyways,
it's kind of
good. Yeah, it is. Yeah, exactly. Well, let's jump in because we've got a lot of people to bring in and a lot of things to talk about today. And so I'm going to introduce first from Logos Christian School, Jody Capehart, huge heart for reaching and teaching all ages of people. She has been in Plano for forever, started a number of different schools. It's just kind of like her thing, right? Grace Academy, Prestonwood Christian Academy, Legacy Christian Academy in Frisco. And she is the head of a new school that focuses on classical Christian education, the Logos Christian School. Please welcome Jody Capehart.
Good morning. Thank you, Nathan. I appreciate your encouragement.
Well, it is my pleasure, and we're glad you're here. We had a lot of talk offline, which is good to get ready for this. And just give us a quick 30 seconds, a little bit about your background. You've done a ton of things. I know you've been an author and speaker, but just give us a kind of a 30 seconds, which will transition further in our fourth segment. We'll go in a little bit deeper.
Okay. Thank you, Nathan. I love children. I love teaching. I love everything about education. So I started the first school 50 years ago, and that's Grace Academy of Dallas, and then just continued on. And Christian, I follow the model of the Christian classical, and it is just a joy. I even at my age, I'm still loving it and very blessed by doing this and being around children. They're our future. They're our hope.
100%. Couldn't agree more. And speaking of children, our next guest is the co-owner of A&E Publishing, illustrator of A&E children's books. So obviously putting good education and good content into the hands of children, very important. Also civil engineer for the city of Plano and a graduate of SMU. I don't know if you are excited about that, if you're not a graduate of SMU, but she's very excited about it. Please welcome Emily Krocheski to the show. Good morning.
Good morning. Hi, guys.
Did I nail it? Did I get your last name right? I feel like I messed it up.
Krocheski. Yep. Okay, you're good.
I panicked in the middle of it, and then I just went for it. So I hope that.
Yeah, it's intimidating. It's a little long.
What's it, Polish or what is it? Russian? What is it?
It's Polish. Yeah.
Awesome. That's good. Well, tell us a little about the publishing world. Give us a quick 30 seconds on you and your background.
Yeah. So A&E Publishing, we decided to create this company, me and my business owner, my business partner, to self-publish our children's books. We thought that the message was just so great and specific that we didn't want, anyone kind of changing it. So we decided to self-publish and create these. It's a little bit easier. We can go through Amazon for distribution and whatnot. But yeah, so basically the gist of it is we created this book series. It's the Friends of Toby book series. We've got 4 books out right now, but it's really the message is kind of adopt, don't shop, and also that it's okay to be different. So I think it's a really great message for kids and adults. They are based on real animal adoption stories. And
nice.
So it started from an advocacy group that my business partner started. And so she just learned all these, stories about these great dogs and how they found their adopted parents. And she decided to share their stories, and they're just really inspirational stories, and that don't give up. And, someone will love you even if you're a little bit different. So
I love that. Let's bring our last guest, Alex, with Simply Gold. Simply Gold is an innovative digital marketing agency based in Dallas, but also offices in Denver. So 2 different states, 2 of my favorite states, which is awesome. And really, really excited to speak with you, Alex, today, specifically with our topic that we're wrapping up. How are you this morning, sir?
I'm amazing. Thanks so much for having me, Nathan. I was invited by Tyler. Tyler, thanks for having me. I honestly shaved my mustache off yesterday, so I'm sorry that it's not here on this podcast, but I'm thrilled either way.
It might have been overshadowed by Tyler's mustache.
I didn't want to be under his mustache, so I figured just get rid of it entirely.
Hey, that works out. Now you're going. You let us know in the pre-show you've got a big trip coming up to Vegas over this weekend. That's exciting. Made us all feel like we needed to do more this weekend for Memorial Day, but that's okay.
My second home. I went for the Super Bowl weekend last time, and that was a really cool experience as well.
You're not a Raiders fan, are you?
No,
okay,
I'm not
good.
a Raiders fan.
Okay, well, we'd have to just kind of let you off the show right then if that was the case, but we'll keep you around. Well, guys, we're going to hit our first commercial break. When we come back, we'll jump right into our What's Up Plano segment. We'll talk about what's going on in Plano. We'll share some different events. You get to hear from different folks here on things that are going on. A little bit of a discussion, get you the right information that you need to know the exciting things that are going on in our great city. So stick around. We'll be right back on the Community Difference Plano.
The Community Difference Plano is made possible by Nathan Smith with Enfuego Financial, Diane Castle with Castle to Castle, connecting charities to fundraising solutions, Jim Thomas, business consultant and business funding expert, Tyler Clifton with Galt, Tracy Duff with Assisted Living Locators, Assia Mahmood with Windhaven Academy, Lauren Gill with My Live Love Travel, and by Jacqueline Kreider with PBJ Mortgage. The Community Difference Plano. Together, we can make the difference. And now, back to the show.
Are you ready?
Because it's time for
What's Up Plano?
What's Up Plano, the segment where we go through everything that you need to know going on in our great city, the city of excellence, Plano, Texas, from events to just news, things that are happening with our leaders, our school board. And we're going to start right all the way with, I'm going to jump in and let Tyler share a couple of things that are happening. And I'm excited for this. So Tyler, take it away.
Yeah, absolutely. So got some really exciting news about something that's about to be happening in Plano. And that is going to be on Wednesday, May 29th from 11:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. It's a conversation with Mayor Munns, and that's going to be hosted by the Plano Chamber of Commerce. They're going to dive into discussions that involve Plano and the city's vision, the priorities of the city, and also upcoming initiatives and key partnerships like the partnership with Plano ISD and also the Plano Chamber of Commerce. So if you want an opportunity to get out and to have the opportunity to meet with and to listen to Mayor John Munns speak, this would be a great opportunity for you.
You know, we had Mayor Munns on the show back, I believe, February 7th. It's like our 4th show. And he's fantastic. I mean, just he has great success in the business world, but also as a mayor, just what he's done for the city. And Assia, I know being with the chamber, have you met him before, worked with him directly on any projects or anything like that?
Not yet. I haven't been able to do that yet. I just kind of got really involved on the board side this year, so I haven't really had much chance. I did meet his wife, so
well, see, we haven't had Mrs. Mayor on, so maybe we need to have we need to have her. Jody, what about you? I don't know. You're not in the public school sphere, but in the private school sphere, you probably still deal a lot with the city when you're opening new schools. And have you had a chance to meet with Mayor Munns for any point? Or
I have not, and I look forward to that. That will be wonderful.
Well, here's your shot. So one of the things I love about Plano, and when we've had Councilman Shelby Williams on, he talks about this a lot. Plano's really good, and probably some other cities, but probably, I'm just talking about Plano, right? They're really good at giving voice to the citizens and giving opportunities to give feedback, which is, kind of what a government is supposed to do, right? So it's nice to see that functioning in the way that it should. A great point when we had Shelby on a couple of weeks ago, there was a new ordinance talking about short-term rentals that they're doing away with in Plano. Not because they don't want, vacationers and stuff like that, but because the short-term rentals were being used for party houses and drugs. And it was the citizens that were really stepping up and saying, hey, we don't want this in our neighborhood. And so that was good to see that, okay, there was an avenue for that. And so it's really good to see this happening for Mayor Munns. Emily, what about you? Have you had a chance to speak with the mayor or meet with the mayor at all in all of your publishing and marketing world?
I haven't. I mean, you'd think maybe I had because I work at the city. But no.
Yeah, that is kind of, he must be. Yeah. I mean, the city's big, so.
It is big. I would probably interact more with, because I'm on the engineering side, so I interact more with Mark Ingram, so the city manager. But yeah, no, not really the mayor.
Well, here's your shot. Here's your chance. Let's go to you, Assia. I know a lot of things are happening in the chamber. You specifically help run the women's division of the Plano Chamber, and it's women's entrepreneurship is a big passion of yours in general, which is really good. I have some people I need to connect you with in that regard. Remind me later. Yes. But talk about a big event that's coming up.
Sure. So we actually do multiple events throughout the year, which is amazing. But we started this new format recently in this year that we've been doing, and it's like a small group format. So a lot of times the women's division events, which by the way are open to women who work in business as well as who own businesses, but a lot of times the format is a larger format that they've done, and now we've kind of broken it up into a smaller format. So we have one event every smaller format event every few months, and that one is maybe maximum 10 people. You sign up for it, and they pick a restaurant and tell you like a few days beforehand, so everyone gets into a different group. You usually won't go with people that you work with, which is cool, but it's great because it's a small group. You get to have meaningful conversations. If you are hesitant to network, because there are some people who are not, comfortable with it or comfortable with meeting people, it is a great way to dip your feet into women's division and into the Plano Chamber in general, because you can meet people, have those easy conversations like you're just out at lunch, which you are. So that next event, the small format ladies lunch out is what we call it, is coming up on June 12th. So we do have the larger format ones too, which I can talk about on another show when we have that coming up. But this one's a really fun one, and I'm always excited to have new people join it because they love going to these events.
That's my mom's birthday. Maybe I'll have her come. Maybe I'll say, hey, go to a nice lunch and meet some new people.
Perfect. Just text me and let me know.
Oh yeah, I'll give you the heads up. So the other day, we try to walk in our neighborhood because walking is good for you, and got to get the kids out of the house every once in a while. And I was in here. I was up at the office, but my wife and son and daughter or kids were walking, and there's an officer that patrols our neighborhood, like every neighborhood in Plano. A guy named Officer Jacob Britton, and he stopped. He was super friendly. My son's real big into fire trucks and police, like every boy that age is. He's 4 years old, and he just kind of talks really. And my wife connects us and said, "Hey, my husband, works in the finance world. He has a podcast." Anyway, we end up meeting. And absolutely great guy, phenomenal person. Probably will have him on the show at some point. But he also connected me with Sergeant Richard Glenn, who runs there's a whole division in Plano now in policing for mental health, which is good, but also bad that there's so much of that happening that there has to be their own division. But the latter would be bad too, that the alternative not dealing with that. And so he runs that division, Sergeant Glenn. Sergeant Glenn is also, if you follow the Plano news with Steve Stoller, he'll be mentioned every once in a while because his daughter is a U.S. figure skater, Amber Glenn, very successful, working to be in the Olympics coming up, I think, in 2026. So working to get both of them on the show at some point. But it got me thinking about just the city of Plano in general. And I pulled some statistics because there's a cool website. If you guys have never been to, it's called niche.com, Niche. And it basically any city in America, it will rank it in all different kinds of areas. So public schools, Plano gets an A+, nightlife A, good for families A, everything is B- or higher. And so crime B-, which is really good for a city of 280,000 people. But I was looking specifically, and they ask surveys, how do you feel safety wise? And I see people very safe. There are no safety concerns. 50% of people say very safe. 46 say pretty safe. So really 96% of people feel good about the safety in Plano, which is a good thing. I was talking to Officer Glenn about that. Anytime you're near a DART station or a downtown area, there's always more propensity for issues. But I said, I've never felt unsafe in our downtown. He's in that area a lot, but they're actually understaffed. So they're looking, I think they have 2 or 3 specific officers for that division for the whole city. And so they're looking to grow that division. So if you know anyone wanting to get into police work, I know it's not the most glorious thing, and it's a very taxing right now in our landscape that we're in, but it's obviously a very good thing, and it's done great for Plano. And so health and fitness A. Here's what's interesting, not to bring the room down, but the average murder rate per 100,000 people across the board, across the country, is 6.1. Plano's at 0.3. So it's 95% less, which is good. So you're not probably going to get murdered here. So that's good news. But as I'm thinking through this, I say that lightly. It's really not that funny of a statement, but it makes me feel good. The city that we live in and the interactions we get to have, the great job that our police force does. And I thought, hey, what are some opportunities, or what are some interactions that you guys have had in Plano from a police standpoint, like just some relationships that you build or ones that if you want to share those real quick. Just because I part of this segment is to not only give the right information to the people that are listening, our audience, but also highlight the great work that our city is doing. And so I thought, anybody have just quick, I didn't ask you guys this in advance, but I just thought about it. Any quick, someone that you built.
I do.
Go ahead, Assia.
So I have a couple. Well, first off, you guys know that I own a preschool, so I am pretty particular that if there's anything at all that people are like, "Oh, who's that walking by?" I'm like, "Call 911." Like, I'm very particular about that. Every time they come out, they are so kind, and even if it's always a false alarm, but they're always like, "It's fine. Call us anytime."
Are you calling the police on the ice cream truck?
For everything. So if you are in my area and you are near my playground, everyone knows to call the police on the staff. So, but they're always very kind and always very helpful. But one of the things that I had an interaction with a few weeks ago was my son. He's 4. He's obsessed with police officers, and we pulled up at a red light next to a Plano police officer car or police car. And he really wanted to talk to and I didn't know, how that was going to go. But we were right next to him. So I put the window down, and then the officer put his window down, and they had a full conversation. My son was like, "What's your name?" And he said, Officer Hughes was his name. So if he happens to listen to this, thank you. You made my son's day. He asked my son's name. He asked him what he wanted to be when he grew up, so it was a whole red light conversation that he had with my 4-year-old that just made his day. He was super excited. So haven't ever had a bad experience with the Plano police, and I love that.
Jody, yeah, go ahead. I know you
Okay.
are in the
Can I
same.
have a quick shout out? Oh, were you going to say something?
No,
Catherine?
go ahead.
Okay. So quick shout out to the fire department. And excuse me, I had a school up further north, and we were in a board meeting, and all of a sudden, excuse me, allergies. I saw on my cell phone my neighbor calling, and then again. I said, "She's a widow. Let me just take this call." But before I could pick up my phone, I saw Plano Fire Department. I took their call and found out that our house was on fire. And so they saved the house, and they also stayed all night long just patrolling to make sure that a little other fire wouldn't pop up during the night. Talk about going the extra mile. And then one day when I was at school and I was unloading a lot of boxes of things, and I had a cart, I used the elevator, and I got on the elevator and went to push the button to get out, and I didn't get out, and I tried again, and I ended up having to call the emergency, and the fire department was here. And so when I got up the elevator, there were all these firemen, and let me tell you, the little boys in our school were over the moon. And so they've spent time with the boys, and it was like a free field trip. It was just beautiful.
They're really good at going to. You can just show up at a fire department. My son, we got one right by our house, and my sons, they'll go in, and if they're not on a call, obviously they'll bring you in, tour it around, etc. So that's fantastic. That's awesome. Well, we're going to go to break here in just a moment. A couple of other important announcements to go through, or events coming up. Lyndon, if you want to throw up the Memorial Park, Monday is Sunset at Memorial Park. It's starts in the evening time, 7 p.m., 45 minutes programs. They'll obviously do the pledge, posting of the colors, national anthem, invocation, proclamation. It's going to be a really cool event. Obviously saluting, and certainly we want to thank all of our service members, but specifically those that have fallen in battle for continue to fight for our freedom. So if you have someone that you want to honor or that is in your family, man, invite them, bring them out. Plano always does such an excellent job when it comes to these events. And so that's going to be a good way to conclude your Memorial Day. It's going to be out at Plano, Sunset at Memorial Park, which is on Bay Hill Drive in Plano. We'll post this on our website as well, so you can see this, but you'll also see it on the city website. So make sure you're there Monday night. Also, this past Saturday, there has been a Battle of the Bands kind of thing. It's actually Battle of the Balladeer series. I don't actually know what that word means, so maybe maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Maybe everybody else does. But it's been going on through the radio station KHYI, and I'd like to give a shout out to Austin Akins. He's a 16-year-old singer-songwriter. Really believe that he's going to go on to do some really big things. He won the whole thing. And so I was working with Michelle Hawkins with the Downtown Plano board and try to get a video, but we didn't have a video. So hopefully maybe his people can send us a video. We can get a little play of that next time. Lastly, actually second to last, there's some elections. We're in early voting right now. Hold off on that one second, Lyndon. Sorry. Early voting opened up yesterday. The actual voting day is the 28th, which is the day after Memorial Day, Tuesday. Not a lot on the ballot as far as races. A lot of these are runoffs, but just a quick on the Republican ticket, U.S. House Representative District 32, Board of Education District 12, State Senator District 30. And then this is a really big one because State Representative District 33, Justin Holland and Katrina Pearson, that's a hotly contested race. Our Rockwall show, we've had both of them on the show. So go back and listen to those, get a good idea of who those people are before you cast your vote. And then, of course, our very own Shelby Williams is running for the GOP county chair. Again, it's a runoff between he and Ellen Lovelace. On the Democratic ticket, just one race, State Senator District 30 between Michael Braxton and Dale Fry. So make sure voting is so easy in Plano. Go out there, vote, get your little sticker, post on Facebook, feel good about yourself. And then lastly, this Friday, we got with Angie Burns, who we had on the show a couple weeks ago. She runs the Plano and Allen Lifestyle Magazine. Phenomenal resources, really cool magazines. She was a great guest. I encourage you to go back and listen to that show. They're doing a monthly business-to-business networking event at Goat's Arena Sports Bar. You can throw that up now, Lyndon. It's from 6 to 8 p.m. This is a great opportunity to go out and meet some people, watch some sports. I'm pretty sure the Mavs play tonight, so they'll play Friday. So you go and watch the game there, meet some people, find some good business relationships, and they do a really good job there. So thank you, Angie, for putting that in our periphery, and hopefully we'll see you out there. I plan to be out there, so I'd love to meet you guys. We're going to go to break. When we come back, we'll dive into our segment, our topic, turning social media into service media, and figuring out, hey, what is service media? What's the difference? So stick around. We'll be right back.
And now a word from a few of our amazing sponsors that make the Difference Radio, live stream, and podcast network possible.
Frisco Fighters prepare to reach new heights at Comerica Center this spring. From competitive matchups to exciting theme nights, you won't want to miss a second of the action. Join us and experience high-scoring, hard-hitting indoor football that's fun for the whole family to enjoy. Visit FriscoFighters.com for game highlights, tickets, or to reserve your spot at the Tarmac Tailgate Party. Frisco Fighters, fly with us.
JP Direct Health offers affordable health insurance solutions for individuals, families, and small businesses specializing in custom coverages to fit your needs and budget. JP Direct Health offers comprehensive benefits, including PPO health plans, accident and critical illness coverage, dental and vision, health matching accounts, along with telehealth at no cost per call. Call JP Direct Health today to learn more about how we can help you protect your health and your budget.
Looking to buy a home? The process can be daunting, but it doesn't have to be. With the help of a qualified loan officer like Paul Fisher, you can get the financing you need and get into your dream home. Paul Fisher, a direct local lender with Certainty Home Lending, has many years of experience helping people buy homes. He's knowledgeable, experienced, and he'll work with you to find the best loan for your needs. Contact Paul Fisher today to get started on your home buying journey. He'll help you every step of the way, so you can relax and focus on finding your dream home. Visit www.loansbyfisher.com or call 817-308-7361 to schedule a consultation with Paul. MLS number 2018111.
Now back to the show.
We're going to jump into our topic right before. Welcome back, everybody. I want to, we have a lot of great sponsors. You just saw some of them, but we added recently one to our sports sponsorship. We've got the Mesquite Rodeo starting up here in June. We're going to have access to go out there and check out the suites and the tickets. The rodeo is fantastic for kids for the next, really, I think through August 31st. So the whole summer, we are in the middle, probably the last third of the Frisco Fighter season. And so if you're listening, you want to know, hey, how do I come hang out with you guys at these events? Reach out to us in the chat, talk to us privately. Our contact information's below, but we'd love to utilize a great sporting event to build those relationships with you guys, our listeners and our business owners here in the great city of Plano. But we added a new one to the fold that we've been working on for a little while, the Frisco Rough Riders, which is Lyndon, is that, I can't ever remember, is that AA or AAA?
It's AA, and
the
Rangers, part of the Rangers.
Yeah, part of the Rangers. So if you've never been to the Dr. Pepper Ballpark in Frisco, it is it's kind of an old timey feel. It's really nice, but it's a very family friendly confines there, and it's just a good all around show, more than just baseball. Very affordable. So check them out. First of all, you don't have to go with us. It's a very cheap, affordable ticket, but very worth it during the summer months. But also, we'd love to have you come out and
Nathan, remind everybody watching too that we have complimentary tickets we give away.
Right, and we'll be doing that.
I mean, you said that it's cheap. You said it's cheap. We make it even cheaper.
There's nothing cheaper than free. So
Right.
I guess you have to pay for your gas out there. That's about it. So stay tuned on the shows. We'll be giving away tickets. Our co-host will obviously have some as well that will be reaching out to some of our connections, and we want to just build this network. Check in the Plano Community Difference Facebook group, as we'll be announcing opportunities to win those tickets and come hang out with us all throughout the summer. So let's jump right in to our topic, turning social media into service media. I want to start with just the simple question, because everybody knows what social media is. Everybody knows what, everyone's on social media now. You've got to figure out social media. You've got to post. You got to do this. Don't do this. Do this more. Stories, reels, whatever. But really, it's much bigger than that. It's about service media. So what the heck is service media? I want to start with Alex and then just kind of go around to everybody. But Alex, when you hear the term service media, what's the definition of service media to you?
I think the definition of service media is really how is it applying to the end result? I mean, you can post, you can, throw up videos, you can share things, but who is it engaging with and what's the net effect of that? There's really nothing more powerful than your network. So how is what you're doing on the social media side impacting your network and then producing a valuable return on investment?
So one of the things that you hear and I'm sure you guys talk about this too in your world, but is authenticity is a big part of, letting your audience see who you are, becoming not just this robot of someone, pushing content or pushing a product or something, but how does Simply Gold help mine someone's authenticity, their authentic voice, who they are, to help them show, hey, I'm here providing a service. I'm here bringing value other than just, vomiting out content on social media.
So people can definitely tell your varying degree of authenticity, not only right off the bat, but then continuing with that engagement. And so part of what we strive to do is walk alongside our business owners that we work with. And we are very intentional about working within, the Plano community as an example, where people can see, feel, and touch us as human beings. So rather than having social just be another thing that you do, how do we humanize that effort? And one way we do that is by, as I mentioned, walking alongside our customers and letting them know we're in the same journey. So the same pain that they go through, the same questions that they have, we have those same pains and questions as well. And so to make it more of a collaborative approach to achieve, the end result is really what I think is important than just spending a bunch of money on social.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, sorry. I was going to say, I agree with Alex. I think it's really important to be collaborating and knowing that a lot of times for us, we are in the service industry. Many of us are, and we are our customers. So we understand them better than anybody, just like he was saying. And so to be able to speak to them directly and offer value through social media rather than just look at me, I think is really important.
Yep. And it's through our 3.5 years that we've been in business. I mean, we've targeted other cities outside of our local network, New York City, Chicago, but it's such a much more fruitful engagement being local and being able to express like what you mentioned, that we're going through the same struggles and we empathize alongside our customers with them.
And I think Emily too, you guys do a good job with your publishing company to actually put that out there as well with your social media for what you're trying to provide.
Yeah, and what we really like to do is partner with local animal shelters. And so that kind of really helps a lot because it not only helps us with selling our books, but it also helps them because, we have per the book sales, a portion of our proceeds we like to donate back to whoever we're partnering with at the time. Or just, we've donated to City of Plano, Animal Shelter, Garland, Grand Prairie, things like that. But I think that really helps because it gives that outreach to their followers to know that there's other people supporting those groups that they also support. So it's kind of that camaraderie kind of thing. And, we're all on the same team type of thing. But it also helps on, being not just like, hey, like you said, like, look at me, like we're doing a funny video, but it's also like there's a message there, and there's like a service we're providing of, hey, we want to help financially support these local animal shelters. Here's their media, here's their page or website, whatever. So kind of things like that.
I love
You
that.
guys mentioned a couple of buzzwords that I want to focus on. I think you said it first, Alex, is empathy. Or you just, I don't know if you use that word, but you said pain points and helping to identify, what are people feeling, either the people viewing the content or even the people putting out the content, because you that's how you connect with someone, through storytelling. Hey, I know what you've been through. Here's a solution, or just getting great information, great content out there on anything, just for the sake of it being valuable for people. And so empathy-driven content, I think, is a huge part of the service media landscape. And like you said, Emily, if you want to grow an Instagram channel, you can just do a bunch of stupid stuff and obviously grow it, because we all scroll mindlessly through dumb things from time to time. But that's the difference between social media and service media, is that, am I doing something that, yes, obviously we're all in business to provide a great service, but am I moving humanity along in a good way? I mean, are we going, or is this a net positive? Or are we just wasting our time with silly things? And so whether that's through collaboration, you talked about that, Alex, or just the authentic voice, storytelling is it's your endeavor in general, Emily. So how does that translate in the social media world?
Yeah. So, I mean, like I said, our books are based off of real live animals. And so we tend to find people who's telling their story already on social media. Like our first or our second book with Dan the Cat Who Can, it's this cat who's paralyzed, and his story is so widely followed on Instagram because it's such a heartwarming story that we kind of build on that of following their lives. And this is real animals and their owners on top of that, their lives. And so I think people really connect and have that empathy they're saying when there's a real story involved, and it's something to follow, and you want to keep coming back to it of like, where are they now? What are they doing? Where did they come from? So
Jody, I know you have we talked before this, you have someone that does your social media, which we all probably wish we did that too. I don't know. We can talk to Alex for that. I guess we'll connect afterwards. But I know in your world of education, inspiration and storytelling is obviously very important. Can you share an example that of a time, like a personal story behind the scenes, something content related that you guys have shared or put out there that's really helped build trust with your community, with the parents? Maybe same thing to you, Assia. I know the parent communication is really big. You can go after Jody, but does that make sense, Jody?
Mm-hmm. And I think I agree with you. I think it's very important to be authentic. And Emily, I have to say that we just adopted another dog from a Plano shelter, and I ordered your book, What's Up, Buttercup? So thank you. But because we're part of our mission vision is to partner with parents, then we want to be consistent with that. So where our social media becomes our service media is that we use MUA Media, and they set this up, and I think it's wonderful. I'd like to take credit for the idea, but it's not mine, is setting up blogs every week where we talk about all the issues that parents deal with. Because I think all of us feel vulnerable when it comes to raising children. They don't come with a manual, a how to raise this child manual. So we're all struggling. We all want
They sure don't.
Children. And so we can share from the things that worked and the things that didn't work, because along the way we gain wisdom. So these blogs are part of our service to the community, that here's an issue, whether it's discipline or everything from A to Z, and now let's deal with it. So here's some information, here's some research, and then also some practical application. And I do think that helps warm up our people to understand that for the school, we're here to partner with you. Our social media is not about look at us, it's how can we partner with you?
I love that.
Not sure I answered your question directly, but I wanted
No, that's great. Go ahead, Alex.
I love that we found a common theme of, we don't need to preach about our features and benefits. It's all about our why, right? So that is essentially what we are bringing to the community, is the reason behind what we do. The products and services are always a byproduct, and then therefore the customers and then the financial side, right? The revenue will always come as a byproduct of having a compelling story and then letting that resonate with people in the community, and connecting that way.
Tyler, one of the things that is a big part of the service media landscape is identifying challenges that people in any sphere, but specifically in your sphere, in the understanding the value of corporate credit, et cetera, face. How do you guys address that through social media in a way that's, hey, here's what we've learned, here's what we've experienced, here's how you can overcome these things as a part of your social media presence on the whole?
Yeah, I think if you look at the definition, right, of service, that's to serve. And so whether it's in actually on social media or in your personal life, I look at it as adding value to all of those around us. And so, whenever we're presenting,
that's a great definition.
And so our goal is to stand behind and push forward. And so, when we're talking to these business owners, we're not just trying to find out if they have issues that need fixed in their corporate credit. What I'm looking to do is I have a huge network now of a lot of different people. And whether it's in my social media or in my personal life, I'm looking to add value to those people that are around me. And so, approaching that from a standpoint on social media of how can we assist, how can we push forward the business community in general and add value to everyone around us. I think that's the most, and collaborate with everybody involved to push the needle and move the needle forward.
And I like your definition, because it should be an extension of what our goals are in business and life, right? It's to not be self-promoting, and you see algorithmically, is that a word, Alex? I don't know, I just made it up. When you promote others, what you do seems to go further. It disseminates more when you're not talking about yourself. And so, Emily, I really just want to open this up to everybody. Collaboration is a big part of not only what our goal here is with the difference in our communities and businesses, but it's a strategy that I think is necessary in terms of local businesses and your influence on social media. In the publisher, where I'll ask you this specifically, but kind of ask it to everybody else. What strategy have you found most effective in terms of collaborating with other local businesses to expand reach and not only what you guys are doing, but to also help promote them as well, which is a kind of cross-pollination, if you will. Still a Gary V term, cross-pollination, when it comes to businesses. And then if you'll answer that, and then just anybody else that wants to chime in on that would be awesome.
Yeah, so kind of two ways. One, other people with books like Assia, we've promoted your book. You guys you've promoted our book. I have a couple other friends that have like children's books, and they kind of just like post each other, just promoting, like supporting women first off, own business, but then also supporting that children's book. Me as a mom, I think that you can't have enough books for your kids. I know people are like, oh, they're saturated with so many children's books, but I think there's so many stories out there that can be shared. And then two, like I was saying with the local animal shelters, we've worked with the city of Plano, we've worked with city of Garland, Grand Prairie, Allen. And so it's really great to have that local influence where they need our support in, our personal donation, as well as getting the word out of dogs and cats and any animals really that need adopting. So we like to, on our social media, we like to not only promote our books, but also promote a lot of animals that are up for adoption. So, dogs like Buttercup, like you were saying, Jody, there's so many pit bulls out there that it's such a stigma that they're not nice, but they're just, such great animals, and they have just a bad rep. So promoting them and their stories and just seeing how sweet they are. And then also events that the local animal shelters have. So we've piggybacked on those and actually had tents. Like we've gone out and sold our books at when they're doing like, for example, we went to Garland and they were having free shots for dogs, their vaccinations and whatnot. And so we came out and we donated to them and also got to sell some books. And so really just that and then posted that on social media. And so people are getting that service of, hey, there's free shots for your dogs here, as well as here's these stories. So yeah, just different kinds of situations with different cities. And we just keep trying to reach out and really promote them and promote us and work through all those things.
On a dog note, Lyndon in the background says he's raised over 20 pit bulls and none of them were ever mean or fought any other dogs.
Exactly.
I think dogs
they are the biggest wimps and babies that you will ever have if you raise them right. Now the issue with them is if I'm correct on this, there's more dog bites in this nation by Chihuahuas than there are pit bulls. The problem with a pit bull is if you do get bit, it does a lot more damage than a Chihuahua. That's all I can say.
I actually have two pit bulls that are asleep right behind me in the bedroom. And I think it's awesome. And we've rescued both of those as well. And so I love that you're promoting that. And, I think about this, what you're doing right now is that empathetic storytelling. And I was going to ask Jody, would you give an example of a time that you've actually been able to tell a story that's really, really connected with your audience?
I've been thinking in my mind about using that for social media. I do a lot of speaking with MOPS groups, PTAs, and so on. And it's easier because you want to tell the whole story. And it's a little bit harder to tell the whole story on social media. So we just tend to give a lot of tips about different information. But I do think the more that I am authentic with other people in this whole process of parenting, I've written books on parenting. That does not make me an expert. All it says is that I took my stories and I put them in print and try to share what I have learned in the process.
I don't know that we ever become experts in parenting. I think we just learn the entire time as we're going along that journey.
You're right. Absolutely.
We become less bad at it as we go through.
Yeah.
I always tell people the moment you have it figured out, they change it up on you. So
yeah. I mean, if they would stay at an age for more than a year, you could probably master it. But it's like, oh, now you're 3 or now you're 4 and that's a whole different ball game.
Totally different ball game every time.
And then there's teenagers. Golly, thank God that's like 10 years away. And for Assia and Emily and Jody, I know specifically Assia, you are passionate about empowering and teaching female entrepreneurs. What advice would you and any other ladies here on the show give to other female entrepreneurs that are looking to utilize social media, not just to build their personal brand, but to build a service media presence, a community presence, expertise in some area where they're offering something of value?
I think for social media, especially for us as women, it can be difficult to just show up as you are sometimes. I think that's a big thing that we put on ourselves and we feel like other people put on us that, if we're just lounging or hanging out, we can't really post that content or we can't share content that is authentic. So I feel like that is a big holdup. I talk to so many women, especially that have a good story or have good services that they're selling, and they just don't want to show their face on social media. And I've been there too. I mean, it's like, I don't want to show my face. Like, people are going to notice this. Actually, I broke my nose this year. I kept thinking, oh my God, people are going to notice my nose is crooked through my videos. Now all of you will notice that. But otherwise, it's one of those things where we nitpick at ourselves just as women. And I feel like if we could just show up authentically, show up more, the more you show your face, the more you get used to it and the better conversations you're able to have. We have a lot of great things to say and a lot to offer. I just think we need to get over that camera shyness that we've been taught to have.
That's a good point. I love your momtrepreneur, if I'm saying that right, momtrepreneur, because there's so many moms that want to be home with their children, and I applaud that.
Yeah.
And so to use your gifts and to be able to earn a little money, but again, using your gifts and then being able to communicate that. As I reflected on this show, I realized that the first 4 schools that I started, there was no such thing as social media. And so that's just come in really strong, of course, the last 25 years. And so how we did things back in the day, in the old millennium, is different than how we do it today. But several things that you all have said, including the questions you've asked me about being transparent. I think that you're speaking to my heart, and I think it would be good if I did get over my being self-conscious and doing a blog, a podcast instead of just a blog where you write, but showing my face and saying, okay, because I think people do read the expressions on our face. And I think we learn about people by how they speak about it. When COVID first hit, the very first thing I said to my husband is, I'm going to do a daily podcast to talk to people who are trying to educate their children at home and talk to the children and try to give tips. And then immediately I started making programs, and then I became self-conscious and I stopped. Mm-hmm. So I love that you address that.
That's awesome. Well, guys, we're going to go to break here. When we come back, and first of all, awesome discussion. I love this. We're going to kind of dive in a little bit deeper with our guests and co-hosts, get to know them a little bit better, and then we'll finalize with our 5th segment, rapid fire, just some fun, goofy questions just to make everybody laugh, and we'll wrap up the show. So stick around. We'll be right back.
And now a word from a few of our amazing sponsors that make the Difference Radio, live stream, and podcast network possible.
Hey Texans, hold on to your hats. The Mesquite Championship Rodeo, newest sponsor partner of the Community Difference shows, is back, bigger and better than ever. Witness the heart-pounding action as the best riders in the world compete for glory. Feel the thrill of the chase, the raw power of nature, and the unbreakable spirit of the West. Don't miss your chance to be part of the legend. Get your tickets now for the Mesquite Championship Rodeo or win yours free just for watching the Community Difference shows.
Are you searching for fast, reliable, and affordable heating and air solutions in the Wiley, Sac C, Murphy, Garland, Rowlett, Lavon, Richardson, Plano, and Allen areas of Texas? Then look no further than Martin Heating and Air LLC. With over 15 years of experience, our team is dedicated to providing top-notch service tailored to your specific needs. Don't let a broken HVAC unit ruin your comfort. Call us today at 469-380-9864 or visit our website to schedule an appointment. Martin Heating and Air LLC, your trusted partner for all your heating and air conditioning needs.
Unwanted pests in your home can be stressful. From creepy crawlies to critters under the floorboards, they disrupt your peace of mind. But don't worry. All Pest Solutions is here to help. We offer a comprehensive range of safe and effective pest control solutions. We target all types of pests, big or small, including insects, rodents, and wildlife. All Pest Solutions, your local experts for a pest-free home. Breathe easy and enjoy your life again. Call today for a free quote. 972-442-1169 or email us at customerservice@allpestsolutions.com.
Buying a home? It should be an exciting time, not a stressful one. At Proven National Title, we understand that buyers want fast, reliable, transparent, seamless, convenient title and closing services. Therefore, our services are not limited to our office or yours. Let Jackie Tobar and all the fine folks at Proven National Title help make your dream of homeownership a reality. Call us today for a smooth and stress-free closing. Contact us at 972-752-8540 or email at jackie.tobar@provennationaltitle.com. Proven National Title. Give me one and I'll earn the rest.
And now, back to the show.
Welcome back on the Community Difference Plano. We're going to jump in with our guests, a little bit deeper dive into who they are and what makes them tick. The authenticity piece, I guess, if you will, of the service media. Speaking of authenticity, I don't know if you guys were paying attention during the break, but our pest control partner, the picture of the cockroach on the screen there, that's like my kryptonite. I cannot stand cockroaches. In fact, I had to run inside last night I was working on our patio. There were 3. I recently discovered that cockroaches can fly. I didn't know this, and that was a very terrifying experience. So I ran inside, and then there was another one inside.
Please don't tell me you ran inside because you got scared.
I wasn't scared. I just hate them. I can't. They're just loathsome creatures. I don't understand why they're in existence. But so I will probably be calling them and getting them to come out because just I can't. Like I'll do snakes, spiders, no problem. It's just I don't know. Anyways, so there's a little real moment for you. Let's start with Alex. What originally drew you into the marketing world and specifically into serving the Plano community? Obviously, you're much wider in the North Texas and in Colorado too. But what drew you to Plano? What drew you to your profession in the marketing world?
Well, this community drew me in just by being, you can be whoever you want. You literally can. I frequently travel, but I'm never leaving this area permanently ever. You can literally walk into or through the community, bump into so many people's hands, and I'm fairly convinced that I can change my life with just one additional handshake. So it's rich, it's vibrant. You can be a CEO of a big company. You can also be starting something from the ground and work your way through it. So just that opportunistic vibe that it carries is the reason why I continue to serve the Plano area. What drew me? Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. Finish.
I was going to say the second part was, what drew me into this is just being able to exponentiate my growth. I've been in business development my entire career. So the application was what can I develop that can help, bridge that gap even further, because I can only shake so many hands, I can do so many Zooms, and then applying that principle to the business owners that I help and serve, and letting them know that I'm in the same boat that they are, growing my business and alongside them, as I mentioned earlier in the podcast.
Jody, same thing to you. I know you've got a long history in the education field, a love for children. We talked about that in your bio, but why Plano? You've been here a long time, and why do you continue to do what you're doing now for the last many, many years?
I love Plano. We love living here. My husband played 44 years with the Dallas Symphony, and I had Grace Academy of Dallas, so we lived in Dallas. But when we moved to Plano, it was life-changing. And we said the same thing. We are never leaving. So having started one school earlier, almost 30 years ago, and then when I started Legacy and we filled up our Frisco campus and had to start a second, I chose Plano. And then when we moved onto our permanent property, then it absorbed both campuses. And now I am thrilled to be starting another school just a few miles from my house. I just feel like it's home to me in every way. And the city's already approached us about doing a joint venture with a park. And one of the many things I love about Plano is all of the parks.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a joy to be here.
I think someone comments on the parks like every show because they really
I'm sure they do.
Between the pools and the parks and the trails, I mean, it's awesome.
It is truly.
Emily, you're in the marketing world and the print world, and how did you obviously you have a passion for children, passion for animals, but how did you discover that, hey, I can put some of this together and make a huge difference, but I can also do it in my local community?
Yeah, I mean, it kind of it all started in 2020 when everyone was like found their passion project, like I got
or discovered what their passion wasn't, one or the other.
Right, yeah. And so I was living in Plano at the time, and so was my my business partner, and so we thought it was easier for us because we were here to deal with local shelters, and on top of that, local schools. We have gone to a lot of elementary schools and done book readings, which has been really fun and engaging for the kids, and that's a big reason why we decided to do children's books, really to get that message in early for kids, and also really like help them. We also have a Spanish. We have another business partner. She translates books to Spanish, and so that's another aspect that we have. Both the English and Spanish versions, and so that's another learning aspect. And so locally, it's not as big to have that ESL program, and so getting that out to the Latino community has been really great too. But obviously I'm very invested in the city of Plano. I've lived here since 2017. I work for the city of Plano. And so doing things locally and supporting, the community is really important to me. On that, the topic Jody said of the parks, though, it's funny because I'm not Parks and Rec, I'm in engineering, but my husband's grandfather, he bikes a lot, so he's using our trails, we have great bike trails all the time, and he's like, maybe one day if you try really hard, you can get promoted to Parks and Rec and be part of that. I was like, maybe. but yeah, love Plano and hope to do more here.
You said Parks and Rec, and all I could think about was the show.
The show. I love that show.
Oh man! Yeah. Hey, quick shout out to Jim Thomas, Alan Lester, and Nathan Donovan, who just commented, watched the show. Thank you guys. Glad to have you here. Tyler, talk about anybody can talk about this. What perspectives do you feel like you bring and you guys bring in general? To it obviously bleeds into your business, your passion, what you do, but that makes a big impact on the community, whether Plano or even communities beyond. We have kind of a sister community hood, I guess, if you could say, between the surrounding cities. But what are some of the experiences that you bring to the business world that you think that impacts the surrounding community of Plano? Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I have a long history of entrepreneurship, and I take a look at the skills and the knowledge and the understanding that I've gained over the years throughout being a business owner, and also the mistakes that I've made as a business owner, and those are valuable as well. But when you combine that with your family and your faith and your business experience, I think that there's an opportunity to really hone in and guide people into becoming the best version of themselves, whether that's as a business owner or an entrepreneur, or as a husband or a father, a wife, whatever that is. And so I think every single aspect of that is extremely valuable. And I prioritize my life a certain way, but I think that everybody needs to have a certain set of priorities and follow those priorities, and use their experiences and gain from the experiences that other people have as well.
For me, in business, not everybody is your customer, because not everybody needs what you do, right? Yeah. But as I'm meeting with local, the police officers I talked about in the What's Up segment, and the relationships we built with the city and the school district, and even the mayor. Hopefully we'll all get to know the mayor a little bit more here on the 29th, I think. There just seems to be like, it's almost a separate thing that works together synergistically. And what I mean by that is, you can get so caught up in building your business and in all the things that it takes to be successful, to make the money you want to make. But when you forget about the community and building those relationships, even though they don't always lead to something monetarily, I should say, the intrinsic value of those relationships can't be replaced, because, and this really kind of goes back to service media, right? You want to be seen as somebody that is a contributor to your city, even just as a great human being, right? Not that you have to have your name on a building or anything like that, or, put a lot of money in, but just building relationships. So, hey, I'm here. I care about what you guys are doing. I care about our police. I care about, and just be around. And inevitably that does often lead to opportunities from a business standpoint. But I think you just can't really be a small business entrepreneur without having that backbone of community, which has been kind of the fabric of our country for 100 years, which we're unfortunately slowly drifting away from. And I think it's our responsibility to hold on to that as small business owners. Alex, you wanted to say something. Sorry.
Yeah, I think to piggyback on what you were saying, I think half the battle or getting you most of the way is showing up, just being present. And we can do that in a lot of different ways, even though we Simply Gold are in the business of automation and making things a little more streamlined using technology, there's still that human element that's basically required. It's going to the events, shaking hands, looking your customer in the eyes, and letting them know that I'm here for you and that I care.
Mm-hmm.
I love that.
I think that there's also, you hear this term all the time that says that your network is your net worth, and that's not just in a financial aspect. That's in every aspect.
Right.
There's aspects of our life that, relational, emotional, spiritual, financial, that we all are seeking advancement in. And your network truly does provide that net worth for you.
I could not agree more. I think that's a great way of really rounding out your place in your community and your contribution to the human condition, as Lyndon put it earlier in our private chat. We're going to go to break, guys. Our final break. When we come back, we're going to switch gears into our rapid fire segment. Just some fun, silly questions to get to know everybody and a little bit more surfacey level, but a fun level. And then we'll have our final thoughts. So stick around. We'll be right back.
At the Community Difference Business Development Alliance, powered by the Difference Media, LLC, our mission is to empower small business owners by transcending acceptable behaviors and outcomes into exceptional realms. We foster a culture of self-awareness, accountability, and proactive engagement, guiding individuals to recognize and overcome indifference towards transformative actions, habits, behaviors, and processes driving meaningful change. Through strategic networking, impactful content creation, and innovative top-of-mind strategies, we cultivate brand relevance and differentiation, enabling our partners and the Difference community to stand out in crowded markets. With a focus on building authentic connections, amplifying brand presence, and driving sustainable growth, we equip entrepreneurs with the tools and mindset to navigate the complexities of entrepreneurship with confidence, innovation, and resilience. Together, we aim to be the catalyst for difference makers, propelling them towards their highest potential and leaving a lasting impact on their businesses and communities. That's where our community podcasts come in. These podcasts lie directly at the intersection of innovative business development and community involvement, helping to bridge the gap between small business obscurity often seen in our communities. The community-based podcasts called the Community Difference Series are an integral part of integrating all facets of modern business development into a package of great content, positive impact branding, and top-of-mind presence, thus fulfilling the greater mission we set forth. When we set out to be difference makers, we can learn to make a difference and find the success and impact innately desired by all business owners and entrepreneurs. We are difference makers.
All right, guys, we get into our final segment here. We're going to wrap up the show. Hopefully you guys have had a great time. I know our guests and co-hosts certainly have, and those that are listening and commenting. We're going to do what we call our rapid fire segment. Lyndon, you want to play that, or is that in the...
Are you ready? Rapid fire.
Now it's official. Now we can actually start it. Here's the rules. You just answer the question, one sentence, one word. Don't go on to a long novel. You'll get a nice buzz. It'll be all in fun, so don't get your feelings hurt. And then we'll go back to everybody after we go through a few of these and have some final thoughts. So first thing, what is your favorite hobby? Let's start with Assia.
Reading. I love reading.
Emily.
Honestly, that creative mindset is really tangential to the engineering mindset.
I love it. Jody.
Reading and gardening. I had to sneak in a second.
Reading and gardening. Okay. Alex.
Oh my God, I love eating. Just eat.
Well, you can't tell. That's good.
Yeah, I had a Chick-fil-A sandwich in between every commercial break.
Shout out to our unofficial sponsor, Chick-fil-A. Tyler.
Playing my guitar.
Okay, I didn't know that about you. Excellent. For me, it's reading or listening to reading or learning in some capacity, for sure. Second, if you could go, not if you could, you're on stage, you're singing karaoke. You may not want to, but you have to. What is the song that you're going with, Tyler?
Oh man, "Walking in Memphis" by Mark Cohn.
Okay, the original version.
Yep.
Okay, Alex.
Probably Blue October's Greatest Hits is usually what I sing. It's sad and,
Okay.
and miserable.
That is a very unfortunate song for karaoke. Jody.
Climb Every Mountain.
Okay. Oh, The Sound of Music?
Mhm.
That's amazing.
My favorite movie.
Okay, we'll talk later. I like that. Emily.
Embarrassingly, probably Bye 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 by NSYNC.
Okay. Hey, they're making a comeback, so
You
it's
do
not as embarrassing.
the hand motion when you're with it, Emily.
Assia.
Anything Celine Dion. I could really hit
Okay.
the high notes with those,
Okay. For me, it's always Bohemian Rhapsody, which is challenging, but that's another story. Jody, can you hit the notes on the Climb Every Mountain?
I think she can.
I try.
Okay, good. We won't ask you to do it right now. And then really quick, really quick. What's one unusual or the most unusual talent that you have? I'll go first while you are thinking. I'm really good at throwing things in the air and catching them in my mouth. I will not demonstrate that. Assia.
Oh my goodness. I feel like I have no talents all of a sudden. Come back to me. I have to think about it.
Okay, Emily.
Honestly, the drawing was a surprise to me.
Okay.
So
you discovered one? Okay.
Discovered
that's
it,
good.
yeah.
Jody, what about you?
I can speed read.
Oh, okay. That's actually very useful. Not catching things in your mouth. Alex.
Geez, I can successfully screw up any travel itinerary and think and I didn't.
Man, we need to connect you with Lauren. She's another co-host with Live, Love, Travel. She'll help you not do that. Tyler.
I can do some pretty unique impressions.
Okay. We won't ask you to do that. We won't.
No,
embarrass
wait a
you.
minute. We're going to ask him to do one.
Is that for the paid version? Let's at least get one.
Yeah, we got to do one.
Which one? Let me think about it real quick. De Niro.
Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad. I can see it. And no, Delisa, I will not catch something in my mouth. Maybe next time. Guys, thank you so much. Let's kind of go around and do final thoughts, 30 seconds, and then we'll wrap up. But thank you so much. Really enjoyed. What a great show as we wrap up the month with our topic. Next month, we'll be jumping into the calls-based marketing will be our theme. What does that actually mean? How is it beneficial to us as business owners to build those calls-based relationships, not only with nonprofits, but also just business to business, collaborating together for a better purpose. So, Assia, give us your final thoughts, 30 seconds, and then we'll move to Emily.
Yeah, I mean, thank you for, of course, having this podcast. And I think it's a great way to collaborate and bring people on board. Emily and I know each other fairly well now, and we are both children's book authors. I've had her books in my school in all of the classrooms, which has been super fun to just collaborate and help each other as much as we can. I think is really important. I think there's nothing like doing that in person and getting to know people in person. So that's been fun. And thank you, Emily, for being on with me as my guest today. It was wonderful having you, and buy her children's books, guys. They are amazing.
Emily.
Yeah, I just wanted to thank obviously Assia for inviting me to this, and for you guys having this. Is such a great podcast. So many great topics and everything. But I have talked a lot about the stories themselves, but since I am the illustrator, I just wanted to show you guys the books because I worked really hard on drawing them. This is our first
I love
one.
it. I love it.
Terrific Tale. The second, Dan the Cat Who Can. That one's a fun one. This is our bestseller, Chin Up Buttercup.
Okay.
I think it's
That's the one I ordered.
to be honest. And
Awesome.
then this is our newest one. We just launched this one this month, Dobby the Hairless Doggy, and that's a cute one. So
That's fantastic. I will order some of those for my kids. I think they'll love them.
Perfect.
Jody.
I again want to thank you very much for having me on the show and meeting each of you. We are starting our 10 weeks of summer camp next week, and each week has a theme, but the activities that will be in every week are Bible, art, music, and STEM, and gardening, carpentry, baking, cooking, sports. So there's 15 different activities every week.
Wow.
And we have
That's
openings.
awesome.
So, all right. And as a new school, we are enrolling now for pre-K through 5th grade for this upcoming year. And this ties back in with the service because our core curriculum, we are a Christian school, classical. We take a Charlotte Mason approach. We want to have a conservatory of fine arts, and we have a children's garden, and we want to cultivate hearts of service. So every grade level, every age has a different service project that ties in with the city. So for the littles, it's things like firemen, policemen, and so on. And then in the middle school, what they've learned about gardening in the lower school, then they really put it to work in the middle school. And a big garden that we want to give healthy food to people in Plano that need it.
That is awesome. Sorry, we got to cut off. Alex, 15 seconds, and then we're going to wrap up.
No, just happy to be here and learn things from other people's perspectives, events that I never even imagined, and I've never met the mayor, so maybe I'll give him a call.
Tyler, great job on your first show. Loved your insight. Loved to obviously getting to know you personally, and I just appreciate you being part of what we're doing here at The Difference, guys. The person you're looking for that's going to transform your life probably hasn't been introduced to you yet, so it's imperative to keep being intentional, meeting, connecting with people each day, guys. Thank you so much. Hope you have a great week. We'll be here starting 2 weeks from now. We don't have a 5th week, but 2 weeks from now, our first Wednesday, to start with our topic of. I just totally went blank on our topic. Oh my gosh, I'm losing
Calls
my mind.
marketing. Calls
marketing. Thank you. Y'all have a blessed week and a happy Memorial Day.
Thank you for watching today's show.
The Community Difference Plano is made possible by Nathan Smith with Enfuego Financial, Diane Castle with Castle to Castle, connecting charities to fundraising solutions, Jim Thomas, business consultant and business funding expert, Tyler Clifton with J. Galt, Tracy Duff with Assisted Living Locators, Assia Mahmood with Windhaven Academy, Lauren Gill with My Live Love Travel, and by Jacqueline Kreider with PBJ Mortgage. The Community Difference Plano. Together, we can make the difference.